Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the English Binh Phuoc radio, television station and newspaper. And now our headline as usual. Steering board for Hớn Quảng Airport planning established. Binh Phuoc jumped 7 places in PCI Provincial Competitiveness Index. Vietnam and France Decentralized Cooperation Conference kicked off. Hot air balloon liven up Huế Festival. And now other detail. Ladies and gentlemen, Chairwoman of the Binh Phuoc Provincial People Committee Trần Tuệ Hiền recently chairs a conference to approve the establishment of a steering board and an assistant team to carry out planning for Hớn Quảng specialized airports.
Conference participants adopted the decision to set up the steering boards and assistant team. Under the project, Hớn Quảng Specialized Airport covers 305 hectares in Tân Lợi Commune, Hớn Quảng District, and includes an airfield and support facilities. Representatives from provincial departments and branches gave opinions on completing the planning task. Chairwoman Hiền stressed that the construction of Hớn Quảng Specialized Airport is important for the province development. To this end, relevant agencies should join hands during implementation, she said, and asked the Provincial Military High Command to complete planning work and make preparations to conduct the project.
Binh Phuoc Province rose 7 places in Vietnam PCI 2022, which were released recently by the Vietnam Chambers of Commerce and Industry VCCI.
With 64.32 points, Binh Phuoc stood in 43rd place, up 7 places. Among 10 PCI sub-indices, Binh Phuoc saw improvements in 7, with outstanding results posted in market access, proactivity, and law and order. For the first time, VCCI also released the Provincial Green Index in this year's report. With 14.36 points, Binh Phuoc ranked 41st out of Vietnam's 63 cities and provinces. Its efforts to minimize the risks for enterprises from climate hazards were highly regarded. Since 2005, VCCI and USAID have worked together to produce the annual PCI report to measure the quality of economic management, the level of convenience and friendliness of the business environment, and administrative reform efforts by provincial administrations, thus promoting the development of the private sector. Though Binh Phuoc has not entered the top 30 as yet, its sub-indices offer vivid illustration of the improvements to its business climate.
Binh Phuoc Province had become an attractive destination for investors after adopting measures to improve its business climate.
In the first quarter of the year, Binh Phuoc had 262 newly established enterprises, accounting for 21.83% of the annual plan. The new entrants registered over 3 trillion Vietnam dong in capital, or 17.49% of the annual target. Binh Phuoc is now home to more than 10,900 enterprises with total registered capital of more than 187.8 trillion Vietnam dong. It also saw 9 new cooperatives established in the first quarter, bringing the total to 307.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 12th Conference on Cooperation between Vietnam and France locality kicked up in Hanoi on April the 14th.
France is the only country with which Vietnam shares a mechanism of periodic and rotating conferences on localities cooperation. So far, a total of 18 Vietnamese and 38 French localities have engaged in 240 joint projects across various fields. The event is expected to create a new impetus for the relationship between the two countries. The conference has been held every 2 or 3 years since 1996, with Vietnamese and French localities taking turns to host the event. On the sidelines, there is a French festival, a Vietnam-France Economic Forum, an art program, and many exhibitions, which put the bilateral ties in the limelight. On April 14th and 15th, 4 panel discussions are scheduled to take place, considering the topics of sustainable urban areas, environment, water and water treatment, culture, heritage and tourism, and smart city and digitization.
Japan has supported the U.S. to become the biggest importer of Vietnam's fishery products, with over $310 million in value in the first quarter of 2023, reported by Vietnam Association of Seafood Exporters and Producers.
Exports to Japan fell sharply in terms of some key products such as white-leaded shrimp down 35%, salmon down 4%, and octopus down 6%. Meanwhile, increases were seen mainly in caught seafood, including squid, tuna, and jack mackerel, rising about 13 to 88%. Ranking second, the U.S. purchases mainly frozen products, while in this segment, Vietnam is facing great competition pressure in both supply and prices from India, Ecuador, and Indonesia, reported the Vietnam Association of Seafood Exporters and Producers, VASEP. Exports to the EU were valued at $210 million in quarter one, down 29%, statistics show. VASEP predicted that China will become the largest market of Vietnam's fishery products, but the competition pressure is huge as exporters in other countries are also focusing on this Northeast Asian market after its post-pandemic reopening.
Vietjet officially welcomed passengers on direct flight connecting Vietnam with Australia, Laurel City, Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane.
With only nearly 9 hours of flying time, with modern wide-body aircraft A330, flights from Melbourne to Ho Chi Minh City will depart on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Meanwhile, flights from Ho Chi Minh City to Melbourne will depart on every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Right after Melbourne, Vietjet on April 13th opened routes connecting Sydney, Ho Chi Minh City with 3 flights per week on Mondays, Thursdays and Saturdays from Sydney to Ho Chi Minh City, and Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays from Ho Chi Minh City to Sydney. Earlier on April 8th, Vietjet commenced its first service to Melbourne, followed by direct flights to Sydney and Brisbane.
Ladies and gentlemen, many farmers have doubled their profits since moving to growing organic pomelo, with sales rising and more tourists visiting their orchards. Join us to learn more about organic pomelo growing in Bắc Giang province.
Nearly 2 hectares of pomelos are grown under the Quế Lâm organic farming model by Truyền in Lục Ngạn district, Bắc Giang province. The orchard earns more than 1 billion Vietnam dong each year after investment costs are deducted. Chung Value's red pomelo garden in Lục Nam district also applies the organic farming model and has created a good ecological environment, which attracts large numbers of visitors during the flowering season. The organic farming model helps pomelo trees achieve a longer fruit harvest cycle than usual and a greater yield. Farmers who have experience in growing organic pomelos also hope to replicate the organic production of other crops in the locality.
A hot air balloon festival featuring dozens of balloons is entertaining local people and tourists at Huế Imperial Citadel in the city of Huế between the April the 13th and the 20th.
Local people and visitors will be able to watch an impressive performance of 12 hot air balloons floating in the sky. Flights over the former imperial capital to enjoy the dawn are among the highlights of the festival. People can also take in the beauty of famous scenic spots in Huế such as the Perfume River, Ngự Mountain, and Tam Giang Lagoon. They can register for hot air balloon flights with tickets costing $170 per person. Shorter flights are capped at a lower price of around $8.
And that's all for the news today. Thanks for watching BPTV News. Goodbye and see you next time.